Welcome to C.A.R.E. Current Affairs Reverse Engineering. What does it mean? Instead of reading entire article of Hindu and PIBs, you can read in the form of MCQs and associated PYQs. This is reverse engineering. It can save your time, energy, and it can also enhance your retaining capacity. And coming to our Delhi programs, upscale meditation mentorship and module wise mains marathon. And also APPSC, UPSC integrated schedule, exclusive APPSC Group 1, Group 2 test series are also launched in our Delhi campus. Apart from our regional centers, these are also available to all Telugu aspirants who are living here. And coming to this current affairs reverse engineering module, this is an article given in the Hindu that Moody, a rating agency, declared that Aadhaar is one of the largest digital ID programs. However, it has certain setbacks and biometric related setbacks, biometric technology in this hot and humid climate and rough surfaces in which manual laborers work so much. And coming to this privacy and security risks. However, we can see only the relevant component from the given article here. In 2020, UPSC Civil Service Examination has asked a question related to metadata. What does it mean? A metadata of Aadhaar, that is related to unique identity of an individual, can be stored and maintained and transacted across several platforms under the central government authorities for not more than 6 months. This was the verdict given by the Supreme Court in 2018-19 times. Before that, in Aadhaar Act in 2016, it seems it has clearly mentioned that the central government authorities can store this metadata up to 5 years. So, therefore, and after the verdict only it had come down to 6 months, and later UPSC has asked this question in a wrong statement, in the wrong manner, that it has only given you the 3 months, which can be a wrong statement. Likewise, we have also set questions on these lines. The question is about UIDAI can collect information related to unique identity and provide unique identity to an individual, and biometric information iris scan can also be taken from this UIDAI. However, it cannot authenticate an individual's identity. Okay. So, it cannot determine this person is X or Y. This UIDAI is authenticated to take information from an individual, maintain it, store it, and also it can give unique identity to an individual. This is the Aadhaar Act. Therefore, the Aadhaar Act, which is prohibiting Unique Identification Authority of India, prohibiting Unique Identification Authority of India to collect information about the purpose of authentication. It is not for the purpose of authentication, it is only for the purpose of giving identity to an individual. And next thing, UIDAI can also issue Aadhaar, right? However, you can take e-Aadhaar from UIDAI. That e-Aadhaar is equally valid, legally valid as issued by the UIDAI. This is also important. It itself, the third statement is correlated to this first statement, because UIDAI is not the sole authority to determine you what you are and how you are. It is only collecting information, giving you unique identity. That unique identity can be taken by you voluntarily in any form. Okay, QR embedded Aadhaar or XML Aadhaar or e-Aadhaar, whatever it is. And next, this kind of third statement and first statement correlation is also witnessed in this 2020 UPSC Civil Service Examination. That is why we have set question in this line. Okay, Aadhaar is mandatory for obtaining insurance products? No, the Aadhaar is not at all mandatory. You can comfortably deny while taking while purchasing any kind of insurance product from a private player. Okay, and private state cannot enter into any contact with private corporations also. This is also a correlated statement. Okay, so. And next thing, Aadhaar is mandatory for getting benefits funded out of this Consultative Fund of India. The correlation is logically analyzed, because government cannot enter into any kind of agreement for sharing Aadhaar data to private corporate bodies. At the same time, while purchasing any service, kind of insurance service from a corporate body, you no need to submit Aadhaar, because government hasn't entered into any kind of contract with these private bodies. How can you give you Aadhaar? You can comfortably deny it. So, this correlation is sufficient for you to analyze rather than reading the entire act. Okay. These are simple tricks, and nowadays these tricks are very essential to attain more number of score. I mean more level of assessment and internalization and originality of your presentation during the time of examination. And coming to this, already I have read all the articles. Next, coming to this second article regarding Nagorno-Karabakh. Nagorno-Karabakh is a region between the Armenia and Azerbaijan. this is the issue which is happening. Several times these conflict zones were asked by UPSC. Example, in 2015, I would like to tell you that which of the following countries are not open out to Mediterranean Sea. This is related to Jordan. In 2015, UPSC has asked one such kind of question. And 2020 also UPSC has asked directly the Black Sea borders, right. And 2022 UPSC has asked about Turkic states. These were part of S12 USSR and later they came out of it. Turkic states, which was their major spoken language is Turkey. Okay. So, these were the questions UPSC 2022 which were asked. Similarly, we have set a question related to Armenia and Azerbaijan, because the ethnic Armenians who were residing in this Karabakh region were evicted by this Azerbaijan military, that kind of military excessiveness which was witnessed by these ethnic people, Armenia people, also in the need of asylum, and they need support from their traditional partner ally from the Russia. However, Russia did not come to support this Armenian people, therefore, Armenia became very antagonistic. So, this against this traditional partner, that is Russia. So, this is the article, entire article just I have told you. And what is the question that we have set according to the lines of the UPSC, because UPSC has asked several times these tribes and the places related to Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea, Caspian Sea and also the border countries. So, likewise we have asked you, what are the common boundaries of Armenia and Azerbaijan, Iran, Iraq and Turkey. Iran, Iraq, Turkey, these are the common boundaries, and I would like to show you the map also here. See, this is the Karabakh region, Nagorno-Karabakh, and in which mostly the central part is occupied and inhabited by this Armenian ethnic people. However, the military excessiveness, that is from the Azerbaijan side, evicted these ethnic people. Next, coming to this third question. The article is about galactic tides pulling and pushing the heavens. Okay, what is meant by these galactic tides? The galactic tide already we have given you in the form of questions and statements here. You can comfortably see it. See, these are caused by gravitational forces within a galaxy, caused by gravitational forces within a galaxy, and next they can reshape galaxy structure by creating tidal tails and bridges, and galactic tides also affect the supermassive black holes at galaxy centers. So, this is very clear that there is immense gravitational force which you can witness among these celestial bodies and cosmic clouds and the stars. Such kind of galactic means gravitational force witnessed in these cosmic bodies may disorient or reorient the entire galaxy. Such kind of question was asked in UPSC in 2019, that recently scientists observed merger of black holes. Why have they observed? Because of the gravitational force between these black holes, in which the light cannot be going away from this black hole. Black hole has immense gravitational force, the light even can be trapped in this. Okay, those black holes which came together matched, therefore, it is an indication that scientists observed that gravitational waves were detected. This was the question in 2019. Therefore, the galactic tides was given in the Hindu editorial, we have given you in the form of MCQ here. Entire article was given in just 3 lines only. This gist is enough for you rather than reading those the entire article. Already I have explained this gist. Next, coming to the fourth question. Fukushima nuclear wastewater controversy. In 2011, Fukushima Daiichi, a nuclear power station, has faced a kind of tsunami and earthquake, and the tsunami earthquake created a byproduct of this nuclear wastewater which has to be treated and released in the seawater. So, for last 10 years, this Tokyo Electric Power Company has been working upon it, and also it is convincing its South Korean ally to allow us to release this seawater. It is to discharge into the seawater, because this is completely safe, and we have followed advanced liquid processing system. We have followed advanced liquid processing system which demineralized all the chemical components of these radioactive substances. Demineralization is the process in this kind of removing all these kind of harmful substances from these radioactive substances material, right. This is the question, very simple question, because in 2019 also such kind of simple questions were asked. Pyrolysis, plasma gasification mentioned in the pyrolysis and plasma gasification several times mentioned in the newspaper, that is related to waste to energy technology in UPSC 2019. That is why we have asked what is high purity liquid radioactive waste, I mean use it to get high purity liquid radioactive waste. What is the process? That is process is called demineralization. This demineralization. Okay. Next article is about taking India back to the drawing board. This is related to reservation to women in the legislative bodies. And the question is about only the inference that you can draw from the entire article is related to this UPSC PYQ only, because the lead they have exclusively mentioned about the Delimitation Commission. The article is simply talking about what is the problem, what is the actual problem that we need to address after bringing this kind of new reservation policy for the women in these statutory bodies, I mean legislative assemblies. The problem is population control measure, which is followed by most of the states in the southern part, are witnessing a less representation in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. That was the major cause, and therefore, the Delimitation Commission has to keep this in mind, and the high performing states should never be penalized. That was the actual theme of this entire article. And coming to this Delimitation Commission, why is it so important? Delimitation Commission in India is high powered body, you need to remember this. This is high powered body, and the orders have the force of law. Orders have the force of law, cannot be called in question before any court. It cannot be called and it cannot be questioned before any court. Delimitation Commission has such a power, and the orders of Delimitation Commission comes into force on a date specified by President of India, that is true, and only Parliament can change this. Again, the correlated statements that you can see here, the first statement is cannot be called or questioned in any court. How can Parliament question the Delimitation Commission, right? I mean after it has submitted its report before the Parliament. So, only Parliament can make changes to the orders laid by Delimitation Commission is absolutely wrong statement, which is contradictory to the first statement itself implied. Therefore, this is very clear. Why have you asked this question? Because last year in UPSC preliminary examination, the orders of the Delimitation Commission cannot be challenged in a court of law. This was the statement they have asked, and when the orders of Delimitation Commission are laid before the Lok Sabha State Legislative Assembly, they cannot affect any modification in the order. They cannot affect any modification in the order. The third statement and first statement are given in first and third statement in a little bit. First statement is matching the first statement here, and third statement is contradictory to it. Our third statement is contradictory to the given PYQ. Next. Yeah, these are the article under Article 82, Constitution of India has provided such a provision to the Parliament to kind of constitute Delimitation Commission. Okay, after every census is done, and 4 delimitation commissions were come into picture till now. We have come into picture 1952 under Delimitation Act 1952, 1953 Delimitation Commission was formed. Similarly, 1963 Delimitation Commission, 1973 Delimitation Commission, and 2001. However, in 2001 they haven't changed the number of seats to the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, but they have given a proportionate weightage to each of the member, how many people should be represented, right. Okay, such kind of population adjustment and demarcation of the constituencies was done. However, it hasn't increased any kind of number of seats. Upcoming 2026 Delimitation Commission and the census that may happen after 2031, it seems, may definitely consider this thing, that is the population control measure that was taken by the southern part, the southern part of states should be rewarded somewhat. Okay. And coming to this simultaneous polls, but in presidential system. However, this is individual opinion. In general parliamentary form of government, it is quite difficult due to frequent dissolution of the legislative assemblies at the state level, and this may also cause a kind of disruption in the federal system, because it may lead to a kind of Unitarian form of government because of the several presidential rules which may take place in various states after this kind of one nation one election comes into picture. This was the analysis done by him. However, this analysis is not much required for this prelims perspective and mains perspective also we need to analyze. Later I will show you how the mains keywords can be taken from that article. Here the prelims question is only about what are the articles that are required to be amended if you bring one nation one election. The articles are 172, 83, 356, 174. Why? Why only those articles? Because if you bring one nation one election, you need to dissolve few houses, and at the same time if you bring at the same time you need to impose presidential rule for certain states if they are dissolved earlier. And if they have to be continued, you need to amend one of those articles, that is dissolution of the imposition of the president and dissolution of the state legislature, article 174 and article 172, duration of the state legislature, that has to be increased, duration of the state legislature. And article 85 is about dissolution of the house of the people, and Lok Sabha may be dissolved earlier. If the Lok Sabha is not dissolved earlier, some of the states tenure of legislature has to be extended. Some of the states may have to be dissolved earlier irrespective of their legitimate stand to have remaining tenure of their legislature, right, legislative assembly. So, such kind of problems may occur, therefore, they have to amend all these articles, duration of house of parliament and dissolution of house of the president, people by the president, house of people means Lok Sabha, and duration of the seats to the legislature and dissolution of the state legislature and imposition of the president's rule. This has to be taken place. So, these are the issues. And next coming to government lens on misuse of antimicrobes. Because this antimicrobial resistance is recognized by World Health Organization as top 10, one of the organization as one of the top 10 global public health threats, one of the top 10 global public health threats. So, how will you manage it? How will you manage such a kind of menace? Only thing that they can manage is strict and stringent regulations during prescription. Without any prescription, nobody can purchase any antimicrobial, right. Pharmacological entities have to keep this in mind, that the verdict given by the Supreme Court and also the guidelines given by the medical authorities, and recently it is also witnessed that, and Food Safety and Standards Authority of India has also given such a kind of guideline that all these pharmacologically active substances should never use antibiotics in the fisheries sector, not in the cattle. Actually, it is given here cattle, so this can be eliminated. So, this is a wrong statement. However, the first part of the question is true. Antimicrobial resistance is recognized by World Health Organization as one of the top 10 global health threats. Yes, that is true. Why have we chosen this question? Because UPSC CSC 2019 also has this kind of question related to microbial pathogens, right. Genetic predisposition of some people and taking incorrect doses of antibiotics to cure, this is not right. Incorrect. Okay, using antibiotics in livestock farming, and one more thing, that multiple chronic diseases in some people, this is not correct. Okay. And UPSC, which of the following are the reasons for the occurrence of multi-drug resistance in microbial pathogens? Genetic predisposition is wrong, taking incorrect doses, that is right, taking incorrect doses is right, using antibiotics in livestock is true, and multiple chronic diseases in some people is wrong, that is not related to it. Next, disinflation. Usually you know about inflation, which is known to be a price rise, and also deflation, which is known to fall in the price. But disinflation is just the growth rate of inflation is decreased, growth rate of inflation. Suppose the inflation is 5% now, and that means out of 100 rupees you can witness 5% growth of this. 105 rupees is the product, and next 102 rupees is the product, only 2% hike that you have seen in this product. So, 5% and 2% is also an increase, but the rate of increase is different, simple. Such kind of disinflation is occurring due to hike in the oil prices. That kind of hike in the oil prices that was created by this US market and also the developed countries, which is creating a kind of disinflation system in the emerging market economies. Why is it happening? So, this is very clear that because of the year for developing nations, costlier crude oil is reviving price pressures. It is reviving price pressures, and also it is not giving any kind of hope for reduction of interest rates. Therefore, this is causing a kind of disinflation system. Here, if interest rate is declined and borrowing cost is reduced in the USA, therefore, there may be a chance of increased investment. However, such kind of increase in investment is not seen and revenue expenditure is increased. Therefore, the price is giving you a kind of system that inflation is decreasing and demand for the other goods is decreasing. However, at the same time, you cannot see significant level of capital investment in other market also. This is the situation. And next, which of the following scenarios would not be considered as an example of disinflation? Now, all other three scenarios which are given in the B, C, D, here a situation where prices remain stable with no change in the inflation rate, that is wrong, and an increase in the inflation rate from 2% to 5%, this is absolutely inflation, this is an increase. And next, a temporary slowdown in the rate and which is return to the previous inflation trend, no, it is not at all related to disinflation. Disinflation is decrease in the inflation rate from higher level to lower inflation rate. There will be an inflation, but higher level to lower level of inflation rate. This is why have you asked this question? Because the statements appropriate to description of deflation. The deflation is about it is a persistent fall in the general price level of all goods and services. That is the third statement, C statement. And next, IBC, government mulls financial creditor tag for insurers. This is also one of the interesting things that the insurance company which is acting as a guarantee for a debtor. Simply, if any commercial business company has taken a loan from government, example government as a third party and I am the second party, I am doing business here, and next the insurance agent which is acting as insurer, surety, giving me guarantee for my default to the government. Therefore, I can get a kind of assurance from this insurance company and I can also get some kind of liquidity from that insurance company to come out of this default situation. This is called regard to surety bonds. Surety bonds are issued by these insurance companies to these business parties which may in future suffer from default, and these insurance companies acting as guarantees for these obligee. Okay, simple. So, it is a risk transfer tool. I am a businessman, I am transferring my risk to the insurance company which has issued the surety bond. It is a risk transfer tool for the principal means me, the businessman who is doing the business by taking loans, principal, and shields for the principal, I am shielded by this insurance agency which has provided me this surety bond, shielded from the losses. I am shielded from losses that may arise in case the contractor fails to perform their contractual obligation. That may arise if I may fail in a contract, if I am unable to fulfill the contractual terms. Okay, at that time I may be bankrupt, I may come into the situation of bankruptcy, but these insurance agents will definitely lift me upwards and they will act as security and guarantees and surety. They will be giving surety on behalf of me and I can comfortably focus on my business, right. Next, unlike a bank guarantee, they require a large collateral. No, they do not require a large collateral. This is wrong. And what is inflation index bond? This was a previous year question asked there. So, this macroeconomic element is mutually interlinked and correlated. Okay. Therefore, the previous year questions may be mostly relevant in nature. Sometimes You may not get any kind of previous year question, however, that is potential UPSC question in future. This may be a potential future question for UPSC. That is why we have taken this question. What is inflation index bond? Just investors are protected. Investors are protected from inflation fluctuations. Simple. So, in the bond market, I may have different bonds. I might have invested in various bonds, but due to inflation, my yields may be reduced. That may be the situation due to inflation. But these inflation index bonds are giving a certain level of protection from these inflation fluctuations. However, this is not 100% protection. There are certain issues in it, and these were also criticized, and new kind of programs were invented by the government of India, gold monetization schemes likewise. Next, protection of personality rights of celebrities, and recently this kind of issue has emerged due to Anil Kapoor's pleas for protection of his personality rights. What is mean by personality rights here? The article is talking about celebrities have the right to control their image and likeliness that include their name and voice. This is the question, this is the actual right that they are posing. You can see various norms and associated with these personality rights, because copyrights is also involved and trademarks act is also involved. That means intellectual property rights. Okay. Consider the following statement: copyright protection does not apply to news, facts or information. That is true, it does not apply to news, facts or information. I have highlighted this one. Copyright protection does not apply to news, facts or information. It is given in here. And right to life is right to life. Our constitution actually, and one more thing, I will tell you this question and later I will go to the article. Under the intellectual property law, personality rights are deemed to be the property of the public figure concerned. Under the intellectual property law, personality rights are deemed to be the property of the public figure concerned. That is true. Next, the constitution does not, because how was it true? Because they have clearly mentioned that, see, Delhi High Court order in Amitabh Bachchan versus Rajat Nagi case, others, a milestone in his personality rights in India. It has clearly mentioned, and Usain Bolt also, in this Nicholas Kroon, Usain Bolt among other celebrities who have trademarked their traits to use them commercially. They trademark their traits to use them commercially. And Copyrights Act, under this Copyright Act, to some extent the Indian Trademarks Act use it to protect personality rights also. So, these are the three elements that they, you can see. Okay. And the constitution does not expressly, and one more thing, however, this Copyrights Act and Trademarks Act are clearly giving those personality rights, but this constitution does not expressly deal with personality rights, nor is there any codified law on such rights in India. Only it is a legal right, it is protected under Copyrights Act and Trademarks Act, and these celebrities can enjoy those intellectual property rights and person that are deemed to be property of the public figure concerned. Okay. And what are the relevant PYQs here? The formulation of policy with respect to intellectual property rights is the responsibility of whom the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Okay. Constitution of India has not given such expressly used such a term of personality rights under this article 21 right to life. Under this article 21 right to life, that is why they have given in this article right to life. Right to life is not covering exclusively those personality rights, however, Copyrights Act is covering that. It is the article. Only those important things that you can infer from these given articles, and UPSC mains question that I have already told you which are the relevant keywords for this one nation one election. The keywords relevant should be time, cost, manpower saving. Just remember these keywords only, mug up them. I am sorry for saying this, just mug up these keywords for each of these mains question, and you have to spontaneously write within 6 minutes. Within 6 minutes you have to write those 10 points. Next, time, cost, manpower savings. These are the positive things and negative things you need to remember. Curbing malpractices and improving efficiency is also one of the positive aspects by bringing this one nation one election. It can reduce time, it can also reduce cost, it can also save manpower, human resource. And the next thing, curbing malpractice and improving efficiency, and reduced election related expenses, and enhance NRI participation, and strengthen security measures, uninterrupted government and policy execution. and because consistency of policy may be witnessed due to non-disruption by various frequent elections, right. Next, complex constitutional amendments, as I have already told you that you need to dissolve few assemblies and extend the tenure of few assemblies and impose presidential rule, and many anti-constitution, I mean also if after bringing this one nation one election any government is dissolved again, you need to continue the tenure of the government, caretaking government, you have to impose the confidence motion. That means irrespective of having no confidence among the legislature regarding the government towards the government, they have the governor, respective governor or the president has to impose this confidence motion. Only the caretaking government may be in the picture, are few people who have confidence about the government compared to the entire majority sections of the society. If they are major, but not the exact majority of the government according to the no confidence motion, only the confidence motion as during the time of Neil and Sanjeev Reddy, who has used this kind of tool that irrespective of having fullest majority, but having majority members compared to others, giving a kind of confidence towards formation of government under the leadership of a particular person. So, such kind of situation may arise, and neglect of regional issues, and next because of I mean 5 years of security which is given to the government, there is no such kind of question for the government for complete 5 years. Okay. Then next, to favoring national parties, definitely it will be a favor to national parties after 5 years. It can, I mean those 5 years the regional parties may not actually fight against these national parties because of the security of 5 years that they are into the power. And next, inevitable challenges like hung assemblies, hung assemblies which are unstable in nature for sustaining the government for long years, 5 years. If unstable government occurs in the comes into the picture in the central level, and states may be sustained for 5 years, but central level the government is collapsed and again re-election has to take place. Such kind of situation may again break the one nation one election scenario. Next, disruption of normal governance and security and citizen rights at risk. This is the situation, negative impact. Only these 6 points and next 6 points if you remember several times, and you can do some kind of value addition in the upcoming days. You can remember for several times and develop few mnemonics also for one kind of statement, one nation one election, having one small bullet point notes here, that is called keyword related mains marathon, okay, and immediately dump it after seeing that one nation one election there. Okay. All the very best. This current affairs reverse engineering may definitely help you to get through these articles in 360 degrees after reading in the form of MCQs and PYQ analysis. All the very best and thank you.